return touchdown. Let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
Griffin now off the bootleg. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Elliott going to bite off about 7 on that one. A good run on first down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. From the shotgun again to Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Prescott. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They've become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Kill. 55, Gun. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned teams down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Cook following the penalty. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, it's Cook, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They start on the ground with Elliott. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Under. Here we go, kill. Here we go, 46.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Here we go, 47. Go, get out there. Hey, watch that. 54, Mike, 54. Hey, kill. Mike, 54. Who that? 26. 56.
To throw is Prescott. Forced out to his left. Complete to Jason Witten. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Dak finding his tight end Witten, and the Cowboys have a first down. Here's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
54. It was pretty quiet, G. It was pretty quiet. Maybe. 54.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Completes it to Jason Witten. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again.
Mike 5-4. Let's go.
On third down, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott, stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 24, Prescott escaping the pressure right. His throw incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try. Throwing, Prescott. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up fourth down.
A 41-yard attempt.
And Marr pulled it left. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. The first half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Griffin. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Mike 50. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
On third down, Griffin lets it fly for Thielen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half. Prescott lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And some room to maneuver. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He was brought down by Malik Collins.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is RG3. This is screen to Abdullah. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Let's go. It's a safe move.
4th down. Here's RG3. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. You know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Strip that ball.
On 1st down, it's Elliott. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 41-yard line.
54. Going to 54. Line. Switch. Hey. We're going to 53. Mike 54. Here we go, 47. 26.
From the 41, Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, 2nd most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Mike 47. Mike 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. I'm here all day. Hey, what do you think? Check Mike 54.
Now Prescott. Flushed out right. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down. Third and long. It's Griffin. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Check nine.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, Griffin. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
.21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Everybody, 480. Mike, spot 4. I got one. We're going to 54. 180. Under. Army. Hey, what's that? Echo. Mike, 50.
Prescott from the gun on third. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Mike Hughes. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. They find some open field here. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Barely got the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Griffin. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Tried to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Griffin. And got his man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They'll get 34 yards there. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Griffin. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Again, they're going to go with Boone. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Bailey's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The field goal we just saw has this now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
I'm coming for you, Mike 5-4, Mike. Switch it, hey. Watch the slant. Right there. Gun. 54, Mike. There we go, kill.
Here's Prescott. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. Cooper was the target there. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
Slam.
They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Makes it 3rd and 7.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. So that'll back him up 5. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Following the interception, here's Prescott looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He's taken down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Josh Dotson, he's at the 50. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he's in! Are you kidding me?
How do you get that up?
One of the most improbable ways to finish a game, and they do win it on the final play. This one is going to sting for a while. I mean, how do you let that happen defensively?
One stop.
One stop. I know that it's easy to say that from the booth, but
it is.
How do you let that happen, partner?
That's one of those where sometimes you get overzealous on defense, get out of your lanes, don't take care of your assignments. But let's just go ahead and focus on the offensive game. Look what they got done.
Yeah.
They needed to make one play themselves, and they did it.
Yeah, that's the reverse side. It was a heck of a play and a heck of an ending to this script. Well, that was a fun game to witness, partner. A touchdown there at the very end to win this thing.
And that's really where the emphasis is, right? The touchdown to win it. I know that they put a little on top, right? What's your favorite dessert? You know, what do you put on top of your favorite dessert?
You put whipped cream. Maybe a cherry.
There you go. The whipped cream, the cherry, whatever you want to talk about, that's what they put on it. But the story, the touchdown to win it, that's how they got it done.
So for Minnesota, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're